It's Monday, October 29. This is the news on PBCJ. I am Simone Absalom. Government has cleared its $7 billion debt owed to the Jamaica Public Service Company, JPS, for streetlights. This was disclosed by local government minister Desmond McKenzie. He made the disclosure at a disaster preparedness and mitigation town hall meeting in Douglas Castle near the St. Anne-Clarendon border last week. In explaining the sudden move to pay off the street light debt that accumulated over several years of delinquency by the government, McKenzie said the state was being hit by interest charges every time it missed a payment. McKenzie said that the arrears stood in the way of residents getting defective streetlights repaired and new ones installed. He said the JPS has now committed to repairing the country's 12,000 malfunctioning street lights by the end of the 2018-2019 financial year. Jamaica and the United States have strengthened ties in combating security threats. Last Friday, there was a joint press conference at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, hosted by Major General Rocky Meade, head of the Jamaica Defense Force, and Senior Defense Attaché Lieutenant Colonel Pablo Raggio. They reported on the outcomes of the Countering Violent Extremism Organization conference recently held in the United States.
At that event, we had an opportunity to engage with over 80 military leaders from across the world. And as Colonel Raggio pointed out, Ambassador Nikki Haley was one of the keynote speakers. During that event, there were a number of prepared presentations that looked at some specific issues, such as the dealing with specific threat networks, such as ISIS and Daesh, or otherwise called Daesh, and issues affecting the African states, issues of piracy, and so on.
A question that came up was that of greater maritime collaboration between both countries.
I'd like to commend the Ministry of National Security for the recent decision to procure several fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft to bolster maritime security or border security, which would obviously would be used to counter threat networks operating in Jamaica's sovereign territory or to support in humanitarian assistance to disaster relief operations.
There has also been a key exchange of personnel to better aid the collaboration, a point made by General Meade.
We have Jamaican liaison officers working more closely with the U.S. So just earlier this year, we assigned a liaison officer to JIS South, which is in Key West, and there's a new agreement we're currently about to sign off on to have another officer right here at the U.S. Embassy. We also have information sharing agreements that we are finalizing at the moment, mechanisms by which, as we gather information that might be useful to each other, we can put it into a particular tool which we share so that we can benefit from the same information and respond.
Jamaica Cyber Incident Response Team, JCERT, says there has been an explosion of ransomware, website defacement, and email spoofing since the start of the year. Head of the JCERT, Director Monifa Hewling, said the threat maps are showing significant activities where botnets are concerned. Now, botnets are a collection of internet-connected devices which may include personal computers, servers, and other devices that are infected and controlled by a common type of malware. However, she says measures are being put in place to counter cybercrimes, which she notes pose a threat to all countries and societies. Hewling also pointed to phishing scams, especially from spoofed email addresses within an organization. Phishing is a fraudulent practice of sending emails purporting to be from reputable companies in order to induce individuals to reveal personal information such as passwords and credit card numbers. Last week's social media frenzy over dancehall star Grace Hamilton, popularly known as Spice, new bleached out look spilled over into the opening of Senate's annual State of the Nation debate on Friday, as government member Senator Carencia Morrison made no bones about her support for the controversial DJ. The song, titled Black Hypocrisy, racked up 1 million views in 24 hours in its publication and hit #1 on the US and UK reggae iTunes chart. Spice's new bleached look has been identified as a fake look to help promote the song Black Hypocrisy, which deals with pain she suffered from being mocked for her black skin.
1 million views in 24 hours. #1 on the US and UK reggae iTunes chart with the song Black Hypocrisy that is shaking the ground in entertainment. It is a song with challenges, among other issues, the problem of colorism. She has pushed the boundaries with this song, bringing an issue that many would like to pretend does not exist into the fore. I use this platform to commend Spice. Spice indicator. You are indicating to our youths that they should love the skin that they are in regardless of color. They should embrace who they are.
Students have until November 4 at midnight to submit entries for the Jamaica Information Service 2018 Heritage Competition. The annual competition is divided into 3 components: essay, poster, and photography, targeting primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions respectively. The essay component, which is in its 8th year, targets students aged 9 to 12 at the primary level who are required to write an essay on the theme, "How has Jamaican music contributed to the country's growth and development?" For more information, you can check out the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. In regional news, another earthquake was felt in sections of Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday. The seismic center at the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus says the 4.1 magnitude earthquake occurred at 11:36 a.m. local time. It was located near latitude 11.11 north, longitude 61.93 west, and at the depth of 10 kilometers. The quake was reportedly felt in the towns of Arima and Diego Martin. It was also felt in Grenada. This is the 7th earthquake to be felt in the Tuna Island Republic in the last week. In sports, the West Indies finally got their first win on the Tour of India as they produced a 43-run victory over the home side despite another Virat Kohli century in the third one-day international in India on the weekend. Kohli scored 107 to become the first Indian player to score hundreds in 3 successive ODIs, but it was not enough to prevent the Windies from leveling the 5-match series at 1-1. The victory was only the Windies' 6th in the last 7 years against India and their 5th win overall in the last 26 ODIs dating back January 2017. And that's the news. Thanks so much for making it PBCJ. Remember, we are the People's Station.